Integral with MMA Island. Today I'm joined by a very special guest. We have on the most dominant champion in LFA history, the pride of St. Louis, Missouri, the brightest diamond shining outside of the UFC. We have on the Flyweight King, Charles Energy Johnson. Charles, how's it going today?
What's up, baby? It's going good, man. We got to get you an STL hat. That's the only difference in this one.
Awesome, Charles. And congratulations on the fight, champ. You retained your belt in incredible fashion against Carlos Mota last week. Are you still on cloud nine after that performance?
No, I'm just kind of like, right now, I keep myself real level. It was a lot of things that happened right after the fight, as far as like social media, people, influx of people, messages, like always. But honestly, no, man, I got Dana White looking for a fight was happening 2 weeks later on February 6th. And I was like, immediately got contacted about like aware of that. I didn't know about it. And so I became aware of it like on that Monday. And so I've been trying to like hit up the Nelk Boys and hit up a Full Sin podcast and try to get their attention because it's next week. And so I got right back in the gym on Monday, man. It was just like immediately right back to work for me. And because I want to like push for that opportunity, because the Nelk Boys are looking to get behind a fighter who's not in the UFC yet and sponsor a fighter. So it was a great opportunity. I felt like that fit me perfectly. And so I've been like pushing for that all week, tagging Dana, tagging them. And, I had after my win, I had messed up in Dana's name and I called him Dana Week. So I made a whole video about that. I got shirts coming out with Dana Week now. So I'm good. I'm not on like cloud nine yet because we're not in the UFC yet, but I'm excited about what's to come.
Mm-hmm. What would it mean to you for like to be sponsored by the Nelk Boys and to help get signed by them into the UFC? Like, what would that mean for you as a fighter?
For me, it'll be amazing because, as you know, I already do graphic design. I already been poking in the NFT space, learning as much as I can to try to make my own soon. And honestly, just from personality and just being myself, I feel like I fit them really well as a fighter and as a person. And so everything that they do, I feel like compliments me, and I feel like I compliment them well. And so it would mean a lot to me to get someone with so much influence, but also knowledge of things that I'm already working towards and have put a lot of time into to learn myself, the knowledge to like help me and bring me along. I think it'll be great, great partnership. So it would mean a lot to me at this point in my career, because it's kind of the only thing that I'm missing, that last aspect of followers and people seeing me and, media presence.
Mm-hmm. And, in regards to your last fight, people always say the next fight's always your biggest fight. With that performance, with that, 5 rounds in your hometown, LFA title fight, you got the finish in the last round. One of the best fights ever streamed on UFC Fight Pass. Would you say that's the best performance of your career so far?
Yeah, I mean, it's the best that people have seen for sure. I believe it was probably one of the most exciting fights people have seen in a while, and me also getting the finish just, has a lot of people talking. You don't see too many flyweights getting knocked out, and you don't see too many flyweights in the 5th round fighting like, it's the first round, at the championship level, yes, but not many. And so, yeah, I would say it's my best fight to date, but it's so much more I can do in there. I'm just excited. That was what you got to see versus that opponent. Each opponent offers a specific set of skills, and for me, I feel like each fight is going to bring something different that you'll be able to see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, glad to hear it. And obviously, you're still kind of on standby, waiting for that UFC call, whether it be a UFC contract or a UFC contract being on Dana White's looking for a fight. But how did you celebrate such a great win?
Actually, I was in my hometown, so it's like afterward, I just went to a local club that I know the owners and everything, and I had as many people came out who were at the fights. They just came over. They basically it was basically a party for me. They stayed open a little longer, and then you know, my lady's here from Sweden, so like I got to spend time with her and take her around St. Louis the next day. And my teammates drove down, who I live with. My teammate Michael Gilmore, who fought on The Ultimate Fighter, he drove down with his wife, and so I got to take them around the city of St. Louis a little bit and show them the city and just the people that I loved. I got to meet and go eat with my coach. And now that I'm back here in Michigan, I'm gonna probably go to Mexico for about a week. It's about the most affordable place to go where you don't have to worry too much about COVID restrictions. And so I think we're gonna go to Mexico for about a week just to get some time, you know, just to reset, plan, and just like I've been working so hard for 2 or 3 years now. I haven't taken a break, and so you know, my coach told me, you know, just take some time. You did everything that you were supposed to do, and you know, go enjoy this little bit of time that you'll get, because you know you'll get a call very soon. So I think the goal now is just to hit that reset, enjoy myself for about a week and probably about 10 days ish, and then get right back to work.
You've definitely earned some downtime, you know, from your previous success. What part of Mexico are you going to go down to?
Looking at the West Coast and Puerto Escondido, or Cancun's kind of a little bit easier to get to, so it might end up being like East Coast, Cancun, Tulum area. It just depends because you know, it can get pretty expensive in Tulum, but Cancun, the flights and everything, it's easier flights back and forth than the West Coast of Mexico, because you got to take an extra flight to Mexico City. So one of those three spots though.
Awesome. Good to hear. And I know you're taking this vacation, but you like to stay active. You're anytime, anywhere kind of fighter. I believe you fought 3 times last year. How many times would you like to fight in this new year of 2022?
4 or 5. It just depends on the opponent, health and everything. Like I said, I was willing to fight again on February 6th here. We've just been waiting to try to get an opponent to fight me on 2 weeks' notice. I think that was the biggest hiccup. I believe my name got put out front for the opportunity. But you know, it's hard enough. It's hard finding opponents on 2 weeks' notice, especially fight me, you know, and people want to be prepared. It's a big fight, you know, and I'm prepared already. I just came out of a title fight, so it's kind of like, you know, I don't know what kind of opponent we would get in there, but I threw out a lot of names that were contending names. I don't look for easy fights, and I feel like I'm the best flyweight not in the UFC. And when I step in the UFC, I'm definitely contending for the championship. So that's just my mindset. That's how I feel about my skill set, and that's how I feel about myself. And so we're just looking forward to, you know, whatever happens next. If we get this opportunity next week, it doesn't look like it at this moment in time, I'll give it till Monday, and then just reset onto just relaxing for a little bit.
And going back to your last fight, this isn't your first time around when it comes to championship rounds. What did you learn about yourself doing the 5 rounds the second time?
I just gotta be myself, stay confident. You know, I've been saying that for a while, but when in the Yuma fight, I was just kind of playing around too long. And this fight, I just kept my foot on the button, kept my foot down, stay focused, and I had a plan for each round. I had a plan for the whole fight. I knew what I wanted to do, and I just stuck to that. The Yuma fight, I was just kind of like in there. So just kind of some of the rounds, I was just kind of playing around. It just went by faster than I thought they would. And so this time around, I had a plan. The whole camp, I literally trained for 30-minute fight, 32-minute fight. I was doing 6-minute rounds, and I was doing 12 rounds at a time, you know, and I was like, so 5 rounds flew by for me. 5-minute rounds flew by for me. When I hit that 5th round, I was just like, it felt like the first round. I was fine. I was ready to go, honestly. I was going to throw so many punches that round. I had it in my mind. Like, I wanted to break a record for strikes thrown in the 5th round. That was my goal, but we only got 45 seconds in, so.
It was definitely must-see to TV for anybody who was watching. Have you rewatched the fight?
Yeah, I've watched it about 10 times. In between, like I had a watch party, and then just in between, watching it back with different people, different loved ones, and like my teammate's daughter, she wanted to watch the fight with me again. She's like 6, 7, or 7 years old. So it's like 6, 7 years old. So it's like just different people I've watched the fight with, and each time I notice little things. I'm very meticulous about myself, you know. So I notice little things I can do better, or little things I would change, or ways I would get the fight over with sooner, or moments that I could have made a bigger moment, you know.
Mm-hmm. And you know, with you, you have a good resume behind your back. You have a good manager behind your back, Brian Butler. I don't think it's a matter of if you sign a UFC. I think it's a matter of when. So, like, when would you like to make that UFC debut in your dream world? Like, what's the best case scenario for Charles Johnson?
March, because that gives me time to just relax and just focus for about 6 weeks. But the UFC kind of isn't playing it that way right now, you know. UFC, due to COVID, is in a state of like I don't know what you would call it, but it's hard to get in, and it's even harder to stay in there right now. And they're calling a lot of people up last minute due to COVID things. So I could be in there as early as 3 weeks from now, or I could be in there 6 months from now. You never know. But due to COVID and Dana White's Contender Series, where Dana White sees somebody fight and he gets excited about them and he signs them, you know, for TV, for the show. But the matchmakers already have guys in mind lined up to sign. So it's kind of like they're not on the same page there. So now you have a state of which the flyweight weight class has too many people, and the UFC roster in general has too many people. It's inflated. And so they are not signing fighters to contracts at this moment outright, because they don't have the money or roster to do them. They might have the money, but they don't have the roster to do it, the roster size to do it. They're too inflated with as many shows as they have in 1 year. They can only have so many fighters for so many fights. You get what I'm saying? So ideally, I would like to have been signed a year ago. I would like to have signed last year, at the end of last year, and not having had to fight this fight. But this fight just showed everyone that I should be signed, you know. And when I took this fight, that was my goal. My goal was, we got this guy, give me another undefeated guy, give me somebody that's gonna come from my head, give me somebody that they're saying is the guy to go in, give me a guy that's in the media, they're saying top guys to watch. Give me somebody like that, so I can show you who I am. It's levels. That guy's good, but that guy's different. And I'm the guy that's different. And so that was my goal, that was my plan, and everything is working out in that way.
I feel like it's been a long time coming where, you know, when you fought against Yuma, I believe the 3 last LFA main event winners went on to the UFC, but you didn't. You kind of feel like you were robbed of an opportunity right then and there?
Yeah, they signed the co-main events. They signed the last main event fight that was in St. Louis got signed, but it's just a matter of the weight classes. Like, they need guys in light heavyweight. They need guys in Bruno Souza. They needed guys in his weight class. He filled in. He filled in for somebody. Like I said, it's the COVID mishaps a lot of the time with this pandemic. When somebody falls out, they look for the next best thing. If they can't find somebody on the roster to take the fight, then they look for a champion like Bruno Souza, who was the champion in LFA at the time. He just came off a fight, winning a fight, a good performance, and I think he got called up on 2 weeks after that, you know, and as well as the Brazilian guy who won the belt as well, fought Josh Friend.
Yeah, Gregory Rodriguez, right?
Yeah, we fought on the same card around the same time, and he knocked out Josh Fremd, and then he got called up. Hello? Okay, yeah, he knocked out Josh Fremd, and then he got called up. And so it's just about, you know, availability. This is MMA. You know, availability, being consistent, being prepared, you know, but you got to be available. If when an opportunity arises, you got to be there. You got to be ready to take it. And a lot of guys are comfortable in the UFC, and they're not looking to take short notice fights. So you get guys like me and guys like, you know, Bruno and Gregory that can take advantage of those opportunities.
You're going to go to Mexico very soon, but how soon can we see you back at Tiger Muay Thai back in Thailand?
Man, it's the thing about Thailand is the way that the government is run. It's very hard. It's been difficult with the pandemic. You needed to have a vaccine, and then they were doing a 2-week quarantine where you had to pay for the hotel, which was extremely expensive, like $2,000. And if you only plan on staying there for a month, that's half your time there. You got to be in a hotel. Now they cut back on that time, but I'm looking forward to going back as soon as possible because I got a lot of family there, as far as like coaches, friends, you know, and brothers there, that people that are really want me to succeed, and training partners that I would love to get back in there and train with. Now that we are where we are now, it'll just be a different type of atmosphere. I feel like much better than it was before, with me being, for me myself, with me being where I am now, I'll have more access to things I didn't before. And so I'm excited to get back there. Maybe probably about around the time whenever I get signed. Honestly, I told myself I wasn't going back to Thailand until I got signed to the UFC. So as soon as I get signed to the UFC, I'm probably going to be making that trip.
It's like kind of like a second family, if you will. But adding on to that second family, you have a guy like Khamzat Chimaev joining the team, you know, sparring some rounds over there. What was your reaction to seeing Khamzat over there?
I honestly expect him to be there sooner. There's a lot of Russians out there, and there's a lot of guys that speak his language, a lot of his brothers, a lot of people that he's probably rubbed elbow with or familiar with. And so we got a lot of guys, Dagestani guys, we got Russians out there, and they float. They're always out there. So it's like, I honestly thought he would have been out there sooner. I'm pretty sure what held that up was probably the pandemic as well. So this was the most. He had COVID as well and all those things. So this probably was the most opportune time for him as well. And now that he's created that relationship with, I seen he's with the owner of VWAT. Now that he's created that relationship, I'm sure that's going to be just a budding relationship as well. VWAT loves guys like him that come in to work hard and have a name. And so like, it's just Tiger does a good job at putting the champions in a position to succeed, like Valentina and Peter, you know. So it's going to be a great relationship. It's going to be great to get back out there and work with new faces, meet new people. But I see a lot of old faces, so I'm excited about that.
And with this LFA title win, I believe this is your third LFA gold belt in a row. You're a flyweight, so how hard is it to lift off that gold, man?
Hey, man, them belts are heavy. They're like 20-something pounds a piece. At least 22. I always try to delegate the belts to somebody as I get them. Like I take a couple photos in all three, but then I just like try to pass them on. Like I had my friends carrying them around all night, and like just people that I knew I grew up with, just delegating them to different people. My mom, my dad, my lady, my people. You know, just it's everybody's belt in my opinion, you know, and I share my success with people as much as I can. I'm not worried about anybody running off with it or anything, especially when I'm home in St. Louis. So those things are heavy for sure.
Hey, the UFC belts is going to be added away, in my opinion, right?
Hey, man, I'm excited. We'll see. I get to compare one day, you know. Hopefully that's the goal. It'll be here. I would, in my mind, I want to be competing for that belt this year. I already put it on my heart. I already wrote it down. I'm 3 or 4 fights away from a UFC title, and I got names. I got names written down. I got people I want to see. You know, I got people I want to see, and I got a timetable here. So it's whenever they choose to give me that call and strike that call up. I know I've never had a boring fight. You know, I've never had a boring fight, and so I know the fans will be excited to see me in there. And you know, it's at the end of the day, it's fighting. You know, at the end of the day, it's fighting, and I'm built for it. So I'm excited about that.
And most important question of the interview, when you get to that octagon, when Bruce Buffer is, you know, shouting out your name, will he include all of your nicknames that come with Charles Johnson?
I hope so. I've thought about that because I kind of want to draft my guy Mike Kendall over, you know, like, hey, can I get a draft pick in here? Can I get Mike Kendall over here? But I'm hoping so. I'm sure there'll be a time where I'll be able to have a conversation with him. I'm gonna write them all down and hopefully, the UFC, they have time constraints and stuff. Hopefully they don't bullshit me out of that, because everybody loves a good nickname, and I got a lot of them.
Did you have to get like permission from the LFA? Like, what was the conversation like getting all those nicknames onto a tiny little bit piece of paper?
It was simple. I actually, like, me and Mike Kendall were in the van on the way to the hotel from the airport about 2 shows ago. And when the conversation came up, because we were just talking about nickname, he was like, "You just going with nickname?" I was like, I told him, so my uncle had passed away. And I told him, it meant a lot to me to get Pretty Ricky in there. That was the first fight. And then the next time I saw him, when I was fighting Yuma, on our way to the hotel, he was like, "Are we going with the same nickname?" Because he knew that it held a special place for me. And I was like, "Actually, you know how the old fighters and wrestlers, I grew up on WWE, old boxing and stuff. You know how they used to come out and they have long monikers? Like, I was thinking I want to do something like that." He was like, "Yeah, man, just send me what you're thinking." And then I would just start saying it out loud in the van. And then he was like, "I like that." I was like, "We could do that?" He was like, "Hell yeah, man." So he just wrote it down, and he had it down packed already. Fight night, I didn't have to send him anything. He had already logged it in his head, I guess, by the time I got to the hotel. And so he had it down. He sent me a message on Messenger, said, "This is what you said, right?" And then fight night came, and he hit it the nail on the head, And so since then, that's just what it was. So I'm wondering how that weighs with the UFC. I'm hoping they don't, take away, because it's not like it's something that I'm making up. It's literally authentic. So
yeah, kudos to you on that one, man. Like, you're not just one of the best flyweights outside of UFC for skill, but for marketability, marketing yourself. Kudos to you on that. Can you tell the fans about what you're planning on marketing wise when it comes to your website, graphic design? Do you have any business plans for 2022?
Oh yeah. So right now I'm getting a team together to create special NFTs for UFC, independent of what the UFC is doing. Like, I'm a fan of all the fighters, so I'm like creating my own artwork for certain fighters, many fighters. I'm gonna do it for a lot of the fan favorites early on. I'm not gonna drop any names yet, but you guys can just play with that imagination in your head. So I want to do that, and then also I'm dropping a lot of teas and stuff. So, like, this last fight, I fumbled on the mic for the first time. I was like, Dana Wheat. I called Dana White Dana Wheat, right? So
Sounds like a cereal.
Yeah, exactly. So Wheaties or Wheat Thins pop in your head, right? So I was like, all right, I already made a video on my page about it, and I got a dancing Dana Wheat on there. But I'm coming out with t-shirts that say Dana Wheat, sign that man. So it's gonna be a Dana Wheat, hashtag everything. So just fun, man. Things like that. I'll be having shirts and stuff on my website. Right now I got my own things on there, and for people just to see who I am. But we got a few things coming in store for that as well. So
awesome, Charles. I think that's all the questions I have. I just want to thank you again for the time. I think this is one of my most favorite interviews I've ever done. But do you want to say anything to the fans out there watching?
Yeah, man. I just want to thank everybody for your support. If you can, follow me at Energy MMA. I have a YouTube channel. I have Twitter, and I have Instagram. You can follow all of them at Energy MMA with the I. And yeah, let's get to it. UFC right around the corner, baby. So when we walk in there, I want to hear all the G Squad. I want to hear everybody out there. Just it's authentic, it's real. So it's
awesome.
love.
Thanks so much, Charles. Appreciate it.
Thank you. All right, bro.